Hey guys, it's Angelo, and yesterday, on August 26th, Blizzard has published some more priest changes in our brand new patch notes, this time with pretty big changes. Shadow priests get a brand new mastery, while discipline priests see the return of Lenience and a huge buff to Rapture, while holy priests get a change to Apotheosis. These changes came as quite a positive surprise, to be honest, as I think that most priests have not expected these changes. However, they are incredibly helpful and arguably much needed. Certainly so for the Shadow Priest and for the Discipline Priest. Now keep in mind that everything you are going to see in this video is still in the beta and is therefore still subject to change. Especially the new Shadow Priest Mastery could fall subject to some more changes, so please keep that in mind when you're watching. If you would like to join the discussion with all things related to the Priest and World of Warcraft, then be sure to join the Discord server with the link in the description box below. Alright, now without any further ado, let's go right ahead and have a look. Okay, so as always, I'm going to read the patch notes out for you guys first and display them on screen so that we're all on the same sheet of music. Once we're all caught up, I will discuss the changes with you guys in detail and give you my thoughts. Alright, now let's keep things structured and start us off with the changes to the Holy and the Discipline Priest. The Holy Priest, as stated before, gets a change to Apotheosis. It now resets the cooldowns of all of your holy words whenever it is activated. This is actually a great change and gives Apotheosis a direct buff, as this Holy Word reset allows you to immediately push your group back up with Holy Word Serenity and Holy Word Sanctify. This is also a quite nice deal to deal double damage with Holy Word Chastise, as you can use the Holy Word, then use Apotheosis, and immediately use it again. This change was much needed for Apotheosis in my opinion, as Apotheosis was simply outperformed in, well, almost all situations by its talent row competitors, and had a tough time, especially in Mythic Plus, to justify its use for certain. Okay, next up we have the Discipline Priest. Lenience, a former level 100 talent in Battle for Azeroth and removed in Shadowlands, has returned in its same talent row. Many priests were craving for valuable talents in the level 50 talent row, which can be used for content outside of raiding, as the level 50 talents were all tailored towards actual raiding content. With Lenience making its return, this should guarantee a talent for Mythic Plus, while also leaving options for other environments open as well, just like in Battle for Azeroth. Spirit Shell is a new talent in this row and now appears as said in the level 50 talent row in place of Luminous Barrier, and is an active talent which replaces Rapture. This is actually quite nice and interesting and a very pretty cool change in my opinion. Now, Spirit Shell allows the Discipline Priest to create an Absorb shield with the use of Penance, Power Word Radiance, and your Atonement, instead of actually healing for the next 12 seconds. This means that all of your Atonement healing, as well as your direct healing of Penance and Power Word Radiance, will turn into shields on those allies, allowing you to set up some very nice and potentially big shields on your entire raid group before a large amount of damage would be coming in. The final change to the Discipline Priest comes in the form of Rapture. Rapture now instantly casts a Power Word shield on the target when you activate it. Casting with a target is optional, it will just put the shield on yourself if you have no ally targeted. Now, this is a change that many Discipline Priests, including myself, have been asking for a very, very long time. I've said this in multiple former Discipline Priest videos. Rapture forced us to have this weird downtime of one global cooldown, where effectively nothing we did actually did anything. Because the cast of Rapture itself costs a global cooldown that could have been used to apply a shield. To add to that, the global cooldown takes away an entire second of Rapture's duration itself, resulting in actually missing an entire cast of Power Word Shield that you could have been able to cast, or use however you want to see it. With this change, this problem with Rapture is completely removed, which I personally like to see a lot. What do you think? Did you see this change coming? I certainly didn't, but I'm of course very happy that the day has finally come. I also wonder how Spirit Shell will play out. Keep in mind that it is going to replace Rapture when it's talented, which may actually prove to be its greatest weakness for us as players. Having Rapture at our disposal allows for a combination of pre-shielding our allies, while of course still being able to heal with Atonement if need be, while Spirit Shell almost completely transforms all of our actual healing into absorption shields for 12 seconds, of course everything except for Shadow Mend. Ultimately, it's doubtful that Spirit Shell will create shields on allies which will be vastly stronger than the Rapture shields, which begs the question honestly, will it be more effective to just play with another talent option in that row? Especially now, since Rapture has also gotten buffed and allows for an extra shield to be placed on your target and effectively removes its weird, 1 second downtime that it previously had. Of course, all of this is still up in the air, but it will be very interesting to see. Alright, next up we have changes to the Shadow Priest. Quite big changes in fact, because our mastery has been entirely reworked. The blue post reads as follows. In this change, we've redesigned the mastery to be something more in line with the new changes, encouraging the priest to stack their damage over time effects on targets for maximum effect. For each of your damage over time effects on the target, your damage is increased. Now there's a twist here though. While in Void form, you gain the full benefit of this mastery by dealing full damage on all targets, assuming they have all of your dots, whether they're present on the target or not. We've decided to call this new mastery Shadow Weaving, invoking the name and spirit of a legacy Shadow Priest talent. Your damage is increased by a flat percentage for each Shadow Word Pain, Vampiric Touch, and Devouring Plague on the target. During Void form, all targets receive the maximum effect. Personally, I think this is a very cool change. Now in theory, this should provide some pretty interesting gameplay and should allow for Mastery to become a more prominent stat. Perhaps not our strongest secondary stat, but far away from being our weakest. This should encourage us to push our dots onto as many targets as possible to deal the largest amount of damage, which promotes multi-dotting and dot management, which of course is something I like a lot. The mastery synergy with Void form should be pretty crazy as well, especially for example when using it paired with Surrender to Madness for a second Void form, or Searing Nightmare, being able to bomb and double damage the Shadow Word Pains and the full mastery damage during Void form, and this new mastery may also see a synergy with one of our legendaries, Talbot's Stratagem, which increases the damage of Mind Blast when all 3 dots are active on your targets by 30%. The mastery itself will not buff Talbot's Stratagem of course, but could potentially make the legendary more prominent, as spreading as many dots around as possible will become a viable option in AoE situations. Also think of the effects that this will have on other talents like Misery, Damnation, and Unfurling Darkness. All 3 actually benefit from this mastery thoroughly, and it'll be exciting to see if this will create a shift in our current go-to talent picks. All in all, I'm happy with these changes for all 3 specs. I'll have to say that I'm probably most happy about the Rapture change, simply because I've been pushing for this change for such a long time, and I actually feel like Blizzard listened to set concerns voiced by so many Discipline Priests out there. I'm also happy to see that Blizzard is actively trying to better all 3 Priest specs before launch, in order to have them up to snuff, so to speak. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like these changes? Why or why not? I'd honestly be excited to read your take on it, and I personally honestly like them. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if this video was helpful to you, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you wish to stay updated on my content in the future, then be sure to subscribe. As always, a special thanks of course as well to my patrons over at Patreon. You guys are awesome. Now, have a good one my friends, get excited for Shadowlands, and I will see you all in the next one.